What's up, champs? It's your coach, Crown C, aka Crown Cobain. Welcome to the Fit Frame. Shout out to Project TCG. This video is for Project TCG in my private Facebook group. I'm just saying this just in case I post this on YouTube. I might not, but this is directly for you guys. I'm posting this directly to Facebook, to my private group. So earlier today, I asked the question, who knows how to build willpower and who knows what it takes to build willpower? And I've asked this question before, and I had this conversation with a few of my champs one-on-one directly via either the phone or through WhatsApp, Snapchat, however you and I have discussed this conversation. But I feel like willpower is the most important thing when it comes to achieving certain goals, whether it's through fitness, whether it's through life, whether it's through building a business. Whatever the case is, willpower, it has to be one of the most important things, one of the most important aspects of getting to the next fucking level. Also being consistent, creating consistency, being consistent with this willpower. One of my main advice that I give to people when it comes to willpower, the way that you build willpower, essentially is the times and the moments that you do not want to do something. Those are actually the times that you need to do them. So for instance, if you're sitting on your couch watching your favorite show is about to come on, you have not gone to the gym. Let's give you a scenario, right? It's 8 o'clock. Your favorite show is about to come on, right? It starts at 8 o'clock, ends at 9. The gym closes at 9:15, let's say, right? What's your choice? What is the choice that you're gonna make? Are you gonna sit there on that fucking couch and watch that show that you wanna watch? Or will you make the decision of getting up and heading to the gym? Listen, you might be lucky and you might be able to press record so you can watch that a little later. But the problem there is that you have a choice. We all have a choice. You know what I mean? The way you build willpower is every single morning you wake up, right? You have to be at work at 9 o'clock, right? You have that window that you can wake up to do something, but you don't do it because you're too lazy or you don't want to wake up. It's something that you don't want to do. Those times that you don't want to do it, that's how you build willpower. Every single time that you do something that you don't want to do, you put yourself in an uncomfortable position, it gets stronger. The next day, it gets stronger. The next day, it gets stronger. It takes 21 days to build a habit, to break or build a habit, right? Break or make is the right way to say it. So that's a decision that you have to make, and you have to start that out. One thing that I like to do, right? I like to use calendars, huge calendars where I can see them, and I sort of like test myself. So I do it with anything, with exercise, with eating, making sure that I'm following my diet or whatnot, and I'm crossing it out. If I didn't work out a certain day, I write it in big red letters, I didn't work out today. So that I can see that. I'm holding myself accountable. So you can do the same thing when it comes to building willpower, right? You set some goals for yourself. 21 days, right? 21 days for you to get up and do something, make a change, and jot it down. You kind of like keeping track of these things. And you got to think about it. This is about your life. It's about creating habits where, you know, you can create bad habits and you don't realize. Your mind doesn't record it that way. If you created a bad habit, your mind doesn't know that. It's a habit. It's something that you like to do, so you're going to continue doing it. It doesn't know whether it's bad or it's good. So you have to make that decision. You have to make that choice. You have to create these good habits. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. Waking up at 4:45 a.m. and hopping in the shower, cold shower for 2 minutes, and then I'm headed out. That's uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Who wants to? What's the reason for you to wake up at 4:45 if you have to be at work at whatever time? This is what's called making a sacrifice. This is what's called putting yourself in an uncomfortable position, building that willpower. You know what I mean? If any one of you has been in the military, because I've worked with people who've been in the military, they know about this sort of mentality. And I would say this: if you have been in the military or anything, you know, that has to do with of that sort, tap back into that. Tap back into that. Kind of like sit down one day and kind of like remember these things. And put yourself in uncomfortable positions. Of course, I know everybody has a different life, and whether you have kids or your job or whatever the case may be, everyone is different. We're not all the same. So you have to sort of figure it out. And don't give up. Don't just say, oh, it's not easy, because everybody makes excuses. Everything that comes out of your mouth is an excuse. Doesn't matter what it is. It's still an excuse. There's 24 hours in a day. There's different ways for us to do different things. Like, we're human beings. It's gonna happen. We're gonna make excuses. We're not gonna want to do things. But that's what separates those people who get what the fuck they want and the ones who are trying to get what they want. You know what I mean? They're making excuses. I don't want to today. I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Oh, it's just like, if you continue doing that, you're creating that habit. You're telling yourself, I don't want to do this. So every day, this is the habit you create. You know what I mean? You're bringing your willpower levels down instead of bringing them up. So those days that you do not want to do the things that you don't want to do, those uncomfortable things, those are the days that you build your willpower. That's how you build that damn willpower. Every single day, or whatever. It could be a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Making that habit, doing those things that you don't want to do. And after a while, it becomes second nature. And I always say this, don't knock it until you try it. There's a lot of people who will try to knock something like this, of like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, there's a lot of champs who I speak to, whether they're my clients or just people who I have conversations with. There's their resistance when it comes to conversing with them. There's a resistance of, yeah, I can't, because there's always an excuse. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh, it's easier for you to say. And I'm not gonna lie, those things sort of tick me off, because it's like, it reminds me of positions that I put myself in the past. When, you know, we're humans again. I still do that sometimes with different things. I might, but then I sit back and I watch and I listen to what I said, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe that person was right. Maybe I need to do this a different way. And I'll listen. I apologize. You were right. Let me try that. Don't knock it until you try it. And when it comes to fitness, the best results I've ever seen on people, it comes within 90 days. 3 months. Sometimes people will see it before. And I'm talking about physical appearance, when you see it in the mirror. You know what I mean? Sometimes you see it before that. So you can't get discouraged by these things. And willpower comes in that form. Literally, like, it's that instant moment, that ability to make that instant decision that you're going to do it, and not sit there and dwell on how you can't do it, or you're too tired, or you should just start thinking about other things that, you know, other reasons why you can't do that. You know what I mean? So if you know you have to do something, if you know you have a goal, that's why it's picture the goals, frame the results. You got to picture it in your mind. You got to believe it. Even if you have to wake up in the morning, lay yourself on the floor, close your eyes, play some soothing music. Like, I like to do this sometimes, and I just like sit there and take deep breaths. And so it's almost like I'm meditating, and I'm just sort of like thinking of that picture. I'm molding it on a daily basis. It may not be too visual at the beginning, but the more you do it, the more you start to believe it, the more you start talking about it, it just becomes reality, right? And I know a lot of you heard this in the past, and it might sound cliche, but it's true. It's the truth. It's like, you know, you got to speak it out to existence. If you want a certain body type, if you want to look a certain way, you got to make the sacrifice. You got to build that willpower. You got to be consistent. You got to continue talking about it. That's why I created this accountability group on Facebook, Project TCG, because people feed off of. I'm all about energy. So if somebody's energy is like, yo, man, I feel good today. I worked out. Boom. Check it out, guys. This is what I'm doing. What are you doing today? Somebody's gonna be like, hey, man, this is what I did today, man. I feel great. This is how I feel. Somebody says, oh, I lost 5 pounds. Somebody was like, man, you lost 5 pounds. Let me go to the gym right now. Get on the scale or something. You measure yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror. Dude, I lost 2 pounds. Doesn't matter. It's just making progress, being accountable for your own actions, and making sure that you're building that willpower. I'm trying to build something where I can do with you guys, sort of like, as long as you guys communicate with me, where we can kind of like just make sure we hold each other accountable for whatever it is that we want to do. You know what? I'm having trouble getting on the cardio, on doing cardio. Like, I just hate doing cardio. Me personally, I hate doing cardio. But when it has to be done, it has to be done. It's willpower. So when do? I do it when I don't want to do it. I do it in the mornings. I'll wake up early and I'll go ahead and do them. And it sucks at the beginning. It really does. It totally sucks. But with the right music and the right energy and the right things that I'm reading and the right, it allows me to get there. So I have to keep that momentum going. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the moment that you stop with that momentum, the moment that you just kind of like retract and just like, all right, I'm going to take a break, it starts to slow down. Because remember, whatever age you are, right? You can be whatever, you might be 30. Remember, you build this person who you are right now with the decisions that you decided to make in life. Whatever decision that you decided to do, whether it's kids, whether it's the job that you chose that path. No matter what it is, you chose whatever it is in your life. You know what I mean? There's some things are inevitable, but making the wrong decisions or making a decision that could have changed things, and maybe you didn't realize it in the past, but it was a decision that we made. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I hate to bring this up, but like, family member of mine, diabetes. My great uncle, his leg got cut off because of diabetes. You know what I mean? And people told him, watch out. You know what I mean? We had so and so who passed away for the same reason. His leg gets cut off or whatnot, and he's still dealing with these bad habits, still smoking, still eating these unfortunate foods that are not going to help him out. This is the life that he chose. This is what he wants to do, and I respect it. Whatever, you do what you want to do, but we all have a decision to make. So you have to make the decision that you want to be stronger. You want to create that willpower. You want to be better. Because I'm telling you, it's going to help you out in so many ways. It's not just fitness. It's not just on the way you look. It's just everything. It's just going to help you entirely. You know what I mean? And I want the best for anyone who's watching this, man. I seriously do, because I understand what it is to not have willpower. I understand what the feeling of wanting to do something and not having the energy to do it, because in your mind you're telling yourself you can't. Sucks, it fucking sucks. So my advice is to make that choice instantly. Like, literally do things that are constantly going to remind you to constantly make that willpowerful decision, if that's even a word. But and yeah, man, just if you can hold yourself accountable, just kind of have a calendar or have a constant reminder on your phone and listen to it. Don't just look at it and brush it over. Like, actually listen to it and watch this video 1,000 times if you have to. If you have to watch this video every fucking day, watch it every day, just to create that willpower. It's at this point, I think I'm gonna have to post this on YouTube, because this is a very long video. I don't even know I don't know how I'm gonna do this on Facebook, but I'll put it on YouTube. So if you're here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you'd like to be a part of Project TCG, look it up. I'll put the link in the description. Or you can just type Project TCG group on Facebook and ask to join, and we'll gladly accept you with open arms. But champs, I mean, I think that's it for now, man. I'm always just in my bathtub, and just constantly challenge yourself and push yourself. Grab other people who you feel might need the same, help that you need. You know what I mean? Like, hold each other accountable. Brother, listen, I'm doing this. What are you doing? Did you do what you have to do? And it's just, create that willpower every day. Just you can't say no to the things that you really want just because you're not feeling it or because you're too lazy. And that's the sacrifice that we have to make. I want to lose 30 pounds by this day. All right. But you have to do certain things. You have to get rid of that favorite food that you like to eat. You have to make these choices. If I tell you should count your macronutrients because it's going to help, it's going to help. If I tell you should be in a caloric deficit, whatever diet you're doing, it's going to help. If I say, you know what, maybe you should run on the cold weather when it's running, that's willpower. It's raining outside. I don't want to. It's too cold. I don't want to. It's snowing. I don't want to. It's an excuse. You don't want to do it because you're being lazy about it. You're being a big baby about it. If you can do it, if you have legs, if God has you on this earth and you still have your legs, you know what I mean? Use them, baby. Don't take life for granted. Don't take life for granted. If you only live one fucking life. You can change it. You just gotta want to change it, baby. You have to want to change it. You have to do whatever it takes to change it. Whether it's your surroundings or just constantly putting things all over the place on your phone to constantly remind you that this is how you build willpower, then that's how you do it. Stop making excuses, man. # no slack mode. There's no room for that. And hopefully that this video resonates with you. If it does, share it with somebody else. Stop being a big baby, man. Don't be a little bitch. You want to look good. You want to feel good. Whatever it is that you want, you can do it. But you need that willpower, and you need to be consistent with it. Give yourself 21 days to break and make that habit. Write it on the calendar. And after those 21 days, do another a few days to make it 45 days, and see where you're at, and just constantly just, make these goals. That's also another thing. We respond to success. So if you set little smaller goals, like let's say if you're trying to lose weight and you lose it, it does something to our minds. Our minds are excited. Just the endorphins are like, oh my God, I reached this goal that I wanted to reach. You reached it. And then you set another one. Yes, reach for the stars, but it's almost like building a business. You got this thing, this main thing that you want, but that you need to achieve these little increments first to get there. So once you get there, then you start feeling that. So constantly chase that high of a great feeling. You know what I mean? Chase that high of, man, I did it. I did 21 days. All right, let me see if I can do 45 days. Let me up the ante. Let's do that, right? And then you up it a little more. Constantly challenge yourself. If you think about people who've gotten married, they had a date, or people who are going on vacation, or whatever the case may be, they work hard for that shit, for that day, that one day. And I personally say, fuck that one day. You should make it a lifestyle. And if you're one of those people who are chasing that day and you get there, do not lose the momentum. Take a little break if you have to, because we need to do that sometimes, but then come right back. You know what I mean? Follow that blueprint, come right back, and just keep doing it and achieve those goals. Champs, I am Crown Cobain, aka Coach Crown C. This is the Fit Frame. Big shout out to Project TCG right now at this moment and this date, which I don't even remember what the date is. I think it's the 24th. I don't even know what the date is today, of February 2019. We're at 18 people in there. And if you know someone's going to resonate with this video, follow us. We like to keep everybody accountable. This video got way too long. It was supposed to be a 5-minute video, but I get super passionate about this shit and I go in. All right, champs. I'm out of here. As you can see, it got dark while I was doing this. I'm out. Peace and love. Crown Cobain.